In our top story tonight, Alaska announces a once-in-a-lifetime van life experience. Get ready for Vanstock. Then we take you beyond the headlines. Those stories and your weather coming up next. I'm your host, Kathy Kruz. Welcome to Nomad News. Before we get to our stories, we would like to express our deepest sympathy for the thousands of people and animals affected by the devastating Los Angeles wildfires. Our thoughts and prayers are with you all. Now, for the top story in your news tonight. With huge van life gatherings like the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous and Descend on Bend, Alaska now adds its name to the list with Vanstock. On July 18th through the 21st in Palmer, Alaska, van lifers will gather on a 420-acre bison ranch for 4 days and 3 nights. Vanstock is a festival centered around community, camping, and education. Learn about Alaska's indigenous cultures, meet new faces, and enjoy what this majestic land has to offer. Never before has Alaska seen an event like this one, with over 2,000 people expected to attend. Tickets for the festival must be purchased in advance. Go to vanstock.org, where you will find ticket costs and more detailed information. Start making your plans now for the road trip of a lifetime and attend this historical event in America's last frontier. Sounds like a wild time. Coming up next, we take a look at the weather and some of our favorite places. And Nomad News continues with Beyond the Headlines. And now, we go beyond the headlines. The Oregon city of Bend tells residents to stop putting googly eyes on its statues. The loved Oregon city has spent over $1,000 on removing googly eyes placed on public art. The comedy eyes have appeared on statues and murals around the city of Bend and is causing a viral sensation. The town says they love the googly eyes and it makes the town look fun. However, the googly eyes have been removed because of their adhesive. Here's looking at you, Bend. The #1 chess player in the world, Magnus Carlsen, was disqualified from the World Rapid Championship in New York due to wearing jeans. Magnus showed up to the championship wearing a blazer, a golf shirt with a collar, and blue jeans. He was fined $200 and asked to change. When he responded, "I will change tomorrow," that was not acceptable. Therefore, he was disqualified. The FIDE stated that the dress code is to ensure professionalism and fairness. Because let's face it, it's only fair to all that you be required to compete in formal wear. The Golden Globes were just held at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills, California. The Best Actor category went to Adrien Brody in The Brutalist, which also won for Best Picture. But the highlight of the evening went to the Best Actress category. The winner, Demi Moore. In her heartwarming speech, she shared about a time a producer once told Demi she was a popcorn actress and that she was not invited to the table. Well, I hope that producer has a big bag of popcorn while they sit down at their table while watching Demi Moore's Best Actress Golden Globe performance in The Substance. Congratulations, Demi. Grab yourself a chair and have a seat at the table. It's now time to check out Billboard's Top 10 Hits this week with Kathy Kruz. Hello, America. This is Kathy Kruz, and we're counting down Billboard's Top 10 singles in the USA. Starting off our countdown at number 10. She started uploading singing videos on YouTube at just 10 years old. Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. At number 9, topping the country and pop charts, I Had Some Help by Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen. Coming in at number 8, she came on the music scene opening up for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. That's So True by Gracie Adams. Holding on to the number 7 spot, Luther by the collaboration of Kendrick Lamar and SZA. At number 6, the soulful R&B pop ballad, Lose Control by Teddy Swims. The countdown continues with the number 5 song in America, Apartment by duo Rose and Bruno Mars. Taking the number 4 spot, Smile by the country crooner Morgan Wallen. And now for the number 3 spot in the USA, Birds of a Feather by the talented Billie Eilish. Number 2, this Grammy-nominated song spent 17 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard charts. A bar song by Shabuze. And the number 1 single in America goes to Die With a Smile by the pop duo Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. The pair tips their cowboy hats to the era of Dolly Parton and Porter Wagoner, an uplifting jazzy ballad that soared up the charts. Well, that wraps up our Billboard's Top 10 Hits this week. Until next time, America, keep on rocking, and we'll keep the show rolling with a blast from the past. In this episode of Blast from the Past, on January 23rd, in 1976, the Donnie and Marie Show came into our living rooms. Every Friday night, America would sit down together, turn on their televisions, and tune in to the Donnie and Marie Show. Donnie and Marie Osmond, a brother and sister singing duo, were just 18 and 16 years old when they made TV history, becoming the youngest entertainers to host their own variety show. In the mid-70s, variety shows were all the rage. There was Sonny and Cher, the Captain and Tennille Show, and Tony Orlando and Dolly. Though the Donnie and Marie Show had a wholesomeness to it. You could even say it was a little bit corny. It was the kind of show you watch with your family while having a big piece of chocolate cake that your mom just made for dessert. America had an undeniable connection with Donnie and Marie, waiting with anticipation to hear that song every week. I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll, with a little bit of Memphis and a little bit of Motown in my soul. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I know I love it so. She's a little bit country, and he's a little bit rock and roll. And that's your blast from the past. Hello, all you movie fans. Here's the question in this episode of Movie Trivia. I'm hearing this, and I want to hear this. The Devil Wears Prada. Andy Sachs is an inspiring journalist who cannot find a job in her field. So she takes a job as a personal assistant to Miranda Priestly, the ruthless and demanding editor-in-chief of a prestigious fashion magazine called Runway. Andy's life starts to unravel as she tries to meet the impossible demands of Miranda. Starring Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci. Andy goes to a restaurant and tells her friend Lily that Miranda didn't want a new designer bag she was given, and asked Lily if she would like the bag. The trivia question is, who was the designer of that bag? Was it A, Dolce & Gabbana, B, Calvin Klein, or C, Marc Jacobs? If you guess C, Marc Jacobs, you are right. When Lily sees the bag, she starts screaming and starts taking all of her junk from her old bag and stuffing it into her new Marc Jacobs designer bag, courtesy of Miranda Priestly herself. The Devil Wears Prada, a triumph of a movie. And now it's time for an inspirational quote and to close the show with my final thoughts. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. And now for my final thoughts. Alaska. What nomad doesn't dream of Alaska? Such an unknown and intimidating environment, where the sun doesn't shine and then it never sets, where the ice melts to become raging rivers and the wild animals run free. Alaska always makes me think of Chris McCandless. He made it to his dreamland of Alaska, screaming to be set free of society's burdens and expectations. He headed north to the wide open spaces of Alaska. If he would have only kept that map, the river crossing was just half a mile away from his magic bus. Alaska, a place to be respected. I hope you enjoyed my tribute to the late Casey Kasem. I grew up listening to his voice over the airwaves, telling stories of the songs we sing and counting down America's top hits. When you heard him, you knew it was time to rock and roll. I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll. It was an innocent time for television. I was just a young girl sitting on the living room couch with my family on Friday night, singing along to the Donnie and Marie show, pretending I was Marie and my brother was Donnie. A time in life and a time in America when things weren't so complicated. The Devil Wears Prada. The music, the fashion, Paris, Meryl Streep. We all fell in love with The Devil Wears Prada. All the fashion designers that made a cameo in the film, Emily Blunt's character, who steals the show, and who wasn't staring at Andy Sack's boyfriend Nate. Entertaining from beginning to end. A triumph of a movie. Well, now it's time to close the show. I wish you safe travels on all the roads you go. Don't be in a hurry. Take it nice and slow. And I'll see you next time on a Vanlife show.